coming up, folks, you're going to hear from a band which has made the Gulf Coast their life, and they have an amazing concert coming up tonight and a new CD. We're talking to Cowboy Mouth and their times, the tough times after Katrina.
Get your head out of your hand. Are you glad to be alive? Sometimes you gotta sneak in the back door. You can't always get what you ask for, but what you need you got inside, and that's alright. How many times?
Well, you were just listening to a new song called Home by the rock group Cowboy Mouth, which reflects the mood of many displaced Katrina victims. The band is the city's favorite homegrown rockers. Two of its members, Fred LeBlanc and Paul Sanchez, were heavily affected by Hurricane Katrina, but they join us live now from New Orleans, all ready and rocking to go for their performance at Mardi Gras. Good to have both of you.
Nice to be had.
Yeah. Hey, Fred loves the beads. What does your performance at Mardi Gras mean to you?
It's a chance to show the world that New Orleans is coming back, and it's going to be bigger and better than ever, and that New Orleans is the greatest place in the world, and Mardi Gras is the greatest time of year in the world, period. I love Mardi Gras.
Yeah, you got the spirit back. Paul, what about you?
Oh, I love it. My wife and I are living in the French Quarter now. We lost our place, but we embrace New Orleans. We're glad it's Mardi Gras. We're glad we're home. That's where it is.
Mm-hmm. Your new CD, Voodoo Shop. Listening to some of the songs, they really hit home. I'm wondering, Paul, what refrain on this CD really expresses what you feel post-Katrina? Means the most to you?
Well, you guys were kind enough to play a song called Glad to Be Alive on the intro to the piece, but there's a song called Home on there that tells how it went down for all of us, and we all wrote it together. And somebody asked me if it was my expression. I said no, it was a scream of pain.
Yeah, yeah. And for
So,
you,
yeah, that says it.
And for you, Fred, a refrain that really sticks out in your mind?
I guess probably a combination of Home and another song called The Avenue. You know, the thing about New Orleans is the spirit here is that you just have to, you can to keep yourself from crying, and that's the rest of the world thinks we're crazy for doing Mardi Gras, but it makes perfect sense to us because that's what we do here.
Yeah.
We celebrate the fact that we are glad to be alive.
And you were 400 miles away in Atlanta finishing up this CD at the time when Hurricane Katrina was hitting. I'm wondering, Paul, what was it like for you to be so far away and watch this on television with the rest of America?
Well, my wife was with me. She's our tour manager, so I was relieved that person I love most in the world was with me. And then you're horrified. Nobody could call anybody.
Yeah,
and
we're looking at your home.
It was beyond.
We're looking at your home and the devastation.
Yeah.
You can see the water line nearly up to the ceiling.
Yeah, we had one suitcase apiece with us when we were in the studio making the record, and that's still to this day what we have. We rented a place in the quarter and got a bed and a couch and a TV so we could watch CNN and
Yeah.
and we're, you know, that's a home again now. We'll start again. We have each other, and that's what we had then, and that was the biggest relief, which a lot of folks didn't have and still don't, you know.
Fred,
losing the person you love most is worse than losing your stuff.
You know what, Fred? You know what really struck me about your music was just the passion. I mean, you love New Orleans, and Avenue, I think, really speaks to it. And because you talk about coming home and never leaving the Avenue.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, I'm never leaving. That's all there is to it. I was in St. Charles Avenue today, and I was just sitting around having a cocktail, looking at all these people, and the parades go by, and I just realized I love it here. I frickin' love it here, and I'm never, ever leaving, ever.
So Fred, maybe
ever. I don't care. I don't care if they try to flood us out or whatever. I don't care what the government does or doesn't do. I ain't leaving.
Yeah, and you know what, Fred? So maybe you can share with us. How did you get those beads tonight?
Well, you know. Let me show you.
Well, maybe
you
not.
Show them certain parts of your anatomy.
No.
No, I think we're okay.
Hold on, wait a second.
I think we're okay, Fred.
Right in here.
Let's get a chance to share some of your music. Fred LeBlanc, Paul Sanchez, everybody join in on listening to Cowboy Mouth, Voodoo Shop, and all the emotions of Hurricane Katrina.
Thank you, guys. Happy Mardi Gras.
There's lots more ahead on CNN tonight.